All right. Hello, Niccolo. Welcome from a distance. This is a conversation with Niccolo Orsolani, everybody, company member of Allison Cook Beauty Dance. So, Niccolo, you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you joined the company, etc.?
Sure. Thank you, Carolina, for having me for this beautiful interview. So yeah, I'm Niccolo Orsolani. I'm fully Italian. I was born and raised in Turin, in Italy, and I moved to the United States about 5 years ago. Yeah, in 2015, exactly on August, in 8 days, the 28th of August, 5 years ago.
Oh, almost
Wow,
a
what a
birthday.
journey! Well, when do I join the company? I joined the company about 3 years ago. After Alison, our director, saw me performing with another choreographer, and then she came to me and she asked my information, and then we started working together. It was quite a journey and a beautiful.
That's amazing. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah, I was performing actually with Tony, our company manager, in a show by choreographer Rachel Koch.
Oh,
And I came to see the performance, and then she asked my contact, and that's how we
that's
started our working relationship.
wow. That's amazing. So, you joined the company. Sorry, that was my cat. So, you joined the company how many years ago?
Three. Yeah, that would be my third year. Yes.
And you recently had a very important news coming your way. You want us to tell us about it? We were so happy to hear. You want to tell us about your awesome
Yeah,
news?
I finally received my own artistic visa. Been waiting for quite a long time. It
That
took
is
about 2 years for this process
three.
to happen. Two, yes.
Wow, that's quite
Um,
a wait, and I'm so happy, and we were all so happy to hear that you will stay with us here in the States and continue working together. And it was so I was thrilled. I know what it feels to like be waiting for the news and to have things be totally out of your control, like to do everything is that is on your hand to get it, but then you have to just wait, and it's so hard. That's the hardest part for me. Even like I know like collecting everything and all the material is really hard because it is actually a lot of materials for those of you who don't know. uh,
yes.
the artist visa is basically is like as much as you can, and it's a lot. So, but
Oh
I
yeah, I would say that it's at least a 200-page folder at least,
absolutely,
200 to 50 at least. Yes,
yeah.
you
And
need to produce.
but do you feel that that
Yes.
was a little bit easier to do than waiting?
Let's say that, well, I have a great relationship with paperwork, let's put it that way. But yeah, I mean, it was a nice way to take track of all the jobs and um, all the things that I've been doing in my artistic life from the beginning till today. So it was an interesting process. Yes, the wait was I would say the most stressful part because you feel like you're in a limbo. You cannot leave the country because if you leave the country, you cannot come back. But you can legally stay in the country. So I've been basically being stuck in the US for the past 2 years without having the possibility or the chance to go back visit my family and my grandparents, my sister. So that was for me the most hardest part, I will say,
Yeah,
to
I
not being
understand.
able to not have the freedom and also the psychological freedom of knowing that you can actually travel outside the country. Then we would say that, I mean, it was a very particular moment when I started applying for my visa between the type of administration that we have in the US right now and what was going on this year with the pandemic. I would say that I was not the luckiest one in my process, but definitely it was not a bad process. I still feel very happy and uplifted about the decision that the immigration took in my case.
Well, most important part is that you got it. And that is it. It was all worth it. You got it. Everything is okay. So congratulations again. It was definitely something that I wanted to talk about because it's literally recent news. It just happened. So I'm so excited for you. So going back to your
Days
story.
ago.
Yes. Going back to your story with the company. Do you have like you have many roles that have been inspired and created on you as an artist, as well as taking on roles that you learn from other people, from videos? Do you have one role that is the most challenging one for you?
The
That every
most challenging one.
Yeah, the most challenging one, the one you're like, before going stage, you were like, oh my Lord, give me all the mercy and all the stuff. Yeah, or whatever you believe in.
Um,
That's the universe for luck or whatever.
maybe this new, I think that maybe this new upcoming production that we are doing is going to be a beautiful show. It's going to be stunning. I think that it's going to be visually stunning. I thought that it's a very hard process, especially having to dance with a mask on under the sun, and on the baseball field, on the sand. That definitely gives a different type of friction through your shoes. So there is a different type of resistance from the ground and a different type of rebound when you jump. But and it's a very beautiful piece and it's very challenging. I recommend everything to follow us for our upcoming 3 or 4 shows, because it's going to be very beautiful and interesting. But yeah, I think that is definitely one of my most one of the roles. Probably also because I haven't danced it yet on stage. But talking about the role that I actually did already perform, uh, well, I think that, well, definitely Lifeline is one of my favorite pieces that we danced together, and that I danced
Yeah.
also with Vera. It, it's definitely one of my favorite pieces. Especially then, I mean, it's a duet, so there's also this more, I would say, romantic and sentimental feeling um, to it, and a strong psychological connection with my partner, which is what I believe it brings the next to the next level, the performance. No matter what the choreography is, but I feel that when there is a strong bound, a strong physical and psychological bound between the company member, then inside the piece, then the product acquire even more value.
Right. Yeah, no, that piece is gorgeous. So your most challenging is yet to come, and then Lifeline is your favorite. Well, you look beautiful in both. And in this
Yes,
production,
Lifeline, and also
which one now?
I also have another one. I have another one. Yes, the uninvited guest. The uninvited guest. Oh my God, I think that it's such a beautiful piece. People, if you have not seen it live, go on our email and take a look at it. Very interesting, very beautiful.
Yeah, it was so different to anything else that we ever done. Like as a company, I wasn't on it, but like as a company, like part of the repertoire, it was so different. So the theatrics, it was very um I don't know what the word is, but like mysterious. That was the word. It was like a mystery. It was like
Yes,
every time I saw you guys like
mysterious.
in rehearsal, I was like, I saw something like a very small, little, tiny detail that I made me think. I was like, oh wait, maybe I was wrong. Maybe the relationship between this and this, it was different. Like it was like I never like got. I don't know if I ever got the full picture because every time I will have like a little detail that was like, oh wait, I had missed that. It was so interesting.
And then I have a third one. Sorry, I have an extra one.
I did the same. I was like, I can't choose, so you're gonna hit three.
I can't. And it's going to be Messaging Time, the production that we did last year. It was a very challenging production from the acting point of view, I would say, because we are very used to move a lot and do a lot of movement, but not always we are so used to actually have to interpret and act for real. That's true, we were not using words, although the psychological layering and the psychological change that we had to go through the piece were numerous. and very well developed, I would say.
Yeah, we had a lot of also extra support for the theater
Yeah,
as
we
well.
had a great coaching. I think that we had
And
an
then
incredible coaching, absolutely.
yeah, we had so much extra coaching in those extra layers of the
Yeah,
work beside also the dancing coaching part of it. So yeah, and
yeah, absolutely.
that was good. I
We had
remember
guest artists
the rehearsals for our duets when
coming in.
we were just created a reel. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Oh, yes.
That process was a lot of fun. It was very challenging, but it was definitely a lot of fun. So those are your favorite, and your most challenging is yet to come. I agree. This one is, I think it's just because it's so different. It's so like it's so new. Like a lot of these experiences that we're having on, well, not on stage, but like on the performance or in rehearsals are so different to what we used to that it's not really easy to like, oh, I've done this before. We haven't done this before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never danced on a baseball field. I never danced. I danced
Oh, no,
outdoors,
me either.
but
I
not
mean,
too many times, and never with a mask. So it's like so different. Um, but you're
yeah, I
solo
agree completely. You know,
and I mean, the whole piece. But like you have a beautiful solo within that new piece. Um,
thank you.
it's really
It
amazing.
has been a lot of fun developing with Edison. It was very interesting and a lot of fun developing it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
definitely such an interesting process and so like challenging and but also like rewarding in terms of learning
oh
how to
yeah,
do
absolutely.
things differently and like adjusting and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Okay, so you have your favorite, your most challenging. Is there a role, one role, and it doesn't have to be a male role. It can be any role that you're like look at it and you're like, oh my God, I would love to do that role one day. And it doesn't have to. It's not like it doesn't have to be only a male role. Any role that you have seen
Hmm,
it, maybe in a video or during rehearsal, that you're like, ooh, I would love to take up on that challenge one day.
let me think.
I know, like
Well,
he was like, ooh, that's a hard question. I know, I put you on the spot in there.
yes, it is an art question.
Sorry.
There are so many roles that are so beautiful.
But it's one that you see like, ooh, I love to do that, or I
That
love
I'd
to.
love to.
Yes.
Well, I think that I would love to dance Banshee
And be who, the Manchi? Or,
lamentation.
oh,
No,
one of the,
being the Banshee. Yeah,
yeah, being the Banshee? Oh my God, you're,
yeah,
wow. That's amazing. And that's something so different to what the roles that you usually do. It's like, I think that would be amazing. I think you will look gorgeous. Absolutely. And you,
you see,
and
there would be a gender reversal.
well, we did it. Like we
There would be a
got,
gender reversal.
yeah, we did it when with because originally it was like Lindsay and we had I think a lot of Eder do it too, and then Tim did it.
Yeah,
Remember that
no, yeah,
time?
true,
Yeah, Tim did
true.
it, but you move
No,
so
I
differently.
would do Sasha's role.
You will be the dying sister. Oh my God, you the
Yes.
drama. I cannot.
Sorry, I would do.
I
I
cannot
was
wait already.
misunderstanding.
The
Yes, I would be the dying sister. Yeah,
yes.
that's the
Okay.
role that I would do.
That's your dream. Your dream role is dying sister. Yes, that is. I've done that role. It's actually a lot of fun because you get to play a lot with it. Each each person that, of course, there is a choreography and there is a set thing, but like everybody who has done it has a little bit different spice to it. Definitely a
Yeah.
different take. So it's definitely something that you can put a lot of your personal ingredients to it. So I love that role. So I think you will look amazing too. In the Banshee or the Dying Sister, or whichever really. But yay, that's awesome. So last couple of questions, taking it to what we're living right now. Um,
Yes.
how has this whole craziness of COVID and everything closing down, how has this changed the way you have been living and also the way you have been approaching your art? What was has been like the biggest changes that have brought to you, as well as the challenges and the good things? Because even the worst things, they have another side that is a little brighter as well to them. What would you think is
Oh,
like?
no, absolutely. Thank you for this question. It's a very interesting one. Um, so, how has been changing through the COVID in the way I approach my art? Well, it's been I would say it's been a nice process. I feel that true, as you said, there are some bright side to this pandemic. For example, I felt that we went into a moment where we really had time to think and to reflect and to understand a little bit better ourselves. At the beginning, it was not easy, and I was not finding a real relief because I was not able to express myself through the through the art form of that. So to cope with that, I had to find a different channel. I have to channel my energies into different arts. So I started painting and I started composing little sculptures. Um, it has been quite unexpected, but it brought me a lot of relief. And it also made me see dance in a different way, not just as movement. I mean, I have a background in architectural studies and in juggling, in circus art. So I always saw the dance always also as architecture of the body and architecture of the space. But putting myself to paint and to compose and to with object made me realize how we're also painter and we can use our body as a brush in the space, or we can sculpt the space around ourselves. So there is this also, I would say, visual, even more visual. I mean, that's already a visual art beside being a performative art, but I'm thinking even more into the visual side of dancing. Yeah, I would say that, like, especially painting and sculpting has really been helping me coping with the pandemic.
That is amazing. I think I've
So
seen a couple
I
of
think
the
that,
work that you've done, and they're really, really outstanding and very raw.
thank
I love
you.
it. Very raw. I love it. And
Yeah, I'm pretty abstract.
this, but you get it. It's like abstract, but it makes sense. I don't know how to explain that. But that's this.
Thank you.
Did this like new outlet took you or like inspire you to do the classes that you've been doing with the architecture in motion,
Well, yeah,
or
for
it
us,
was the other way around?
yeah. Well, I think that it's a bit both ways. It was a reciprocal things, meaning that before giving myself to the art of dance, if you want to say it this way, I was um, I was studying architecture in Italy. So until my 20th birthday, I was supposed to become an architect, and then I
I
discovered
didn't
dance.
know that either. What? That is amazing.
Yes, so I've been studying architecture for a year and a half at the Polytechnical School of Turin, and then I took my first dance class that I was 20. So when I discovered that, I felt that the only thing that I had to do in my life was dancing. So I quit my studies and put myself about 43 hours a week into dance class for my first 2 years of training when I was still in Italy. And so yes, I feel that my background in architecture definitely has something to do with my class. Of course, I'm a fan of architecture. I'm a fan of lines and shapes in the space. And as I said before, I think that dancers, we are architects of the body. So why not use architecture to be inspired to create architectures of the body.
It makes so much sense. Like what you're saying now, like just this little couple of things that I've learned about yourself right now, it kind of like explains a lot of other things. Like even the way you move and you like the choices you make. It's amazing. It's amazing how our lives really directly affect the way we move and the way we like dance. So like this is like makes so much sense. I'm like, whoa, why didn't even if like I didn't see it before?
Yes,
It makes
I
sense.
really feel that the life experience, I really feel that the life experience really feed the way we move and the way we express ourselves when we are on stage, especially when on stage, not only in rehearsal, but especially on stage. I feel that, at least for myself, I always feel like I am naked. I'm exposed and vulnerable, but I need to make that vulnerability my own strength. So, as a dancer, I always want to find strength in my vulnerability. Yes, I'm showing you how vulnerable I can be, but I can show you how vulnerable I can be just because I am so strong that I can do it.
It takes a
Does it
lot of
make sense?
strength and courage. Yes, it takes a lot of strength and courage to show who you are. So it's been really so amazing to talk to each one of you in like cause like we always talk, we always interact in like daily, but like but we never get to ask questions like these kind of questions. They don't come up in the daily life. So like I feel like I'm learning so much about everybody, and also like I always knew that you guys are wise, but like you having everybody having coming up with these gems of like wisdom that I'm like, what? Oh my God, these people are amazing. I am so honored to be working with all of you, to be working with you too. Like it's just, and I'm happy that you have the chance now to keep pursuing this that you have worked so hard for. Um, I think that's it for today, and I want to
Yes,
thank you so much
thank
for
you.
joining me, for again for having the strength and the courage to open yourself up and to like tell us a little bit more about you. Uh, and I guess the hardest and the most challenging is yet to come next week. We are actually
Yes.
recording this piece. We are doing this. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, and I'm so honored and thankful that we are all dancing together. I think that we are an incredible group of human beings, and also this piece that it's very much into the park, in the nature. It kind of make us a little bit closer to animal human beings that sometimes we forgot we are due to the society we live in. So I'm very happy about this opportunity, and thank you for this beautiful, beautiful talk, Carol. And
Thank
I'll see you
you.
tomorrow in rehearsal.
I'll see you tomorrow, Brian Early. Mwah.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.